What we're gonna do in this case is we're gonna remove these fairly in good condition shower sliding door and replace it with a frameless shower door. Although we're gonna have the 4 elements on the frame, meaning the upper part, the 2 edges, the 2 sides, and then the bottom part, the door itself is gonna be frameless. So we're gonna avoid all these situations. The frustration with this type of doors is that you accumulate a lot of mold and things like that in most of the cases, and it's really hard to clean, whereas the other ones have a film coating in the inside that will help you to maintain it, nice and clean. So there are a few things that you need to consider. The first one is that you're going to have silicone and you're going to have some fasteners. Normally there are about 3 fasteners and some silicone on the vertical parts and the horizontal parts as well. So you want to go ahead and do that stuff. To remove the doors, there is a screw or 2 screws sometimes on the bottom that will hold a little bracket. That is some sort of guide for the doors. So once you remove that stuff, they will be swinging and you will have these just kind of popping it up and removing the doors. As simple as that. Be careful when you're working with knives, obviously. If you put too much pressure inside, you may scratch the tile, and the same thing on the bottom, in this case the tub. You may scratch the tub, so you want to put it in an angle that you just remove that. Some occasions when you have the silicone over there, I just use the blade and I just kind of skim this out, remove it. Also, you can use blades that are used, or scraping knives that are used for windows when you have like paint on the windows and stuff. That's a good idea too. So let's start by that, and I show you in a moment the model of the type of door that we're going to use. This is the type of door that we have over here. So I'm going to give you this section for more references. So you can actually, if you want to get something of this nature, you will have it. Now there are a few important things over here. The most important one for me is the cutting of the upper part and the bottom part. The upper part will be cut to fit the width of your wall, the opening that you have, and the bottom one has to have a subtraction of the 2 vertical parts so it can sit right away into it, and I'm going to go over that in a moment. For that, you're going to need a miter saw or saw that is designed for that. Obviously, depending on where you are, you can either use a hacksaw or something, but the more accurate you can get, the better results you will have. Now, the blade that I have in this saw right now is not appropriate for the type of cutting that we need to do. Blades that have carbide tips or teeth, that have a lot of teeth as well. This one has 100 teeth. Really good for that type of finish work. That's one of the things that you want. You want to make sure that when you make your cuts, they are nice and fine, and that's what's going to make a huge difference in your project. Also, you're going to need a drill, and you're going to need some carbide bit and drill bit, so you can go through the surfaces that are there, either fiberglass or tile or stone or porcelain, whatever it is. You want to make sure that you have some really good bits for the stuff, and also clear silicone so you can go back again and seal those edges so we don't have an issue. So let's continue by changing the blade. So we have the 2 vertical tracks, and then the upper support or cap, and then the bottom one. And the bottom one, what you're going to do is you're going to get this rubber seal that comes with it, and you're going to go ahead and install it into the groove that we have over here in this bottom part. This will help to kind of avoid a lot of noise or banging or whatever on the bottom. That's pretty much the only seal that you're going to find in this type of setup. So I'm going to put it in, and then later on we're going to cut the entire piece to the size that we already measure more than once. The walls normally are not level, so what you got to do is you want to make sure that you measure the upper part and the bottom part and cut it exactly to the size that you have there, especially the upper one, and then you deduct from the other. What you see now is the marks that I made for the bottom part. I have the measurements here. For the bottom, I have 58 and 3/16, so that will be the outer mark, and I deducted 1/4 of an inch based on the recommendations or the instructions from the manufacturer. So what we're going to do is, once this seal that is here is the leftover, so it's like a little oversized, it goes all the way to the bottom, or to the other end. So what we're going to do carefully
with you can use a miter box, or in this case I'm using a a fine teeth blade to be able to cut it. So I'm going to show you in a second how you cut. Now you just saw that we used and successfully cut the piece of aluminum, and you gotta be careful, especially with your eyes. These little particles, fragments of aluminum in this case, will fly really fast. If you don't protect your eyes, in this case I'm using something a little darker because of the sun, but if you don't protect your eyes, believe me that you will have issues in the future. So what we did is that we deducted a 1/4 of an inch in this case for to be able to feed these parallel things. And we're going to cut it in this situation at 59 3/16 for the upper part. So that's exactly the same size that we have over there. Make sure that, especially when you're cutting with this type of miter saws, make sure that you have the proper blade. And I say that because sometimes people just bring the blade really fast, and they shatter or twist the metal, and it can be really dangerous. What else can I say? When you use the type of seal that you want to put or apply on these things, make sure that it's 100% silicone. That will help you a lot. It's a little more expensive, but you can get a small tube, like a toothpaste type of tube, and you're just going to seal it around it in the bottom as well. I'll show you in a moment. Important is that you inspect the boxes as well, so especially with this type of tempered glass. You want to make sure that it's not damaged or fractured in a corner or something like that, because that will cause that the entire piece of glass will shatter. Tempered glass is designed for that purpose, that will, longer pieces or big pieces will not survive. Everything will crumble in small pieces to avoid, bigger injuries. But still, you want to make sure that you do that, because some companies may not transport them in the most professional way. So sometimes there are pieces that are like that. If you damage, obviously, one of the tracks or something, it will be a mess. Probably you can order one. I haven't done that yet, but those are some concerns that you want to make sure that you take care before you start, actually, especially with your eyes, to start cutting things. So let's continue with the upper part that we're going to cut full piece, and then we start installing everything. Now that we don't have the original door, we went ahead and cleaned everything, like we said, with using one of the blades. The utility knife blades is fine. You can use the oil scrapers if you want to. Also, have the opportunity to remove the mold, whatever is on the bottom. So what we're going to do now is, this is the bottom part, right? Remember that we have a little bit of a space cut, so we can put the vertical things on both of them. You want to go ahead and install this, pre-install this with some painter's tape, right where you want to be, right where the edge where you want to be. You don't want to, in this case, to apply the silicone yet. This is the reason. Once you have this here, you want to go ahead and put the two vertical parts over here, nice and level, using a 4, 2, or this type of levels is fine. You want to go ahead and secure them, and make the perforations, or make the marks for the perforations on the walls. In this case, I use a small carbide bead to go through the tiles. So you generate a lot of dust, and you don't want that dust to be stuck on your silicone on the bottom. So that's why it's good to make the perforations and make all the cutting and all the stuff. Then you go ahead and clean the entire thing again and install your piece with the silicone. The silicone in this case will be applied on a bed of silicone. The silicone will be applied over here. Carefully, it's going to be installed exactly where you want to be. And then you go ahead and install the other two pieces. Now on these pieces, instead of putting silicone on both sides, you just need to put silicone on the inner part, so it looks nice and clean on the outside. So let's go ahead and do the stuff, make the marks and the stuff, and the anchors, and we continue. Now that we have the bottom part installed, the anchors were installed over here as well. Now the company provides some anchorage, I guess, some plastic ones, but in this case those are fairly big. So I use other type of blue plugs that I have that are a little more comfortable for me to work with. You can use the ones that were provided with them. Now what I'm using is the screws that come with the kit.
Also, these little plastic or rubber bumpers and the caps for all the screws. Now, the rubber bumpers are 4 of them in this case, and you're going to put one on the top and one on the bottom, and just a normal screw with the cap in the middle. I guess that's, you know, little caps just to avoid any type of rust. So once they're installed, we're going to put some silicone on the edges, some silicone at the bottom as well, and then we put the top piece to, you know, work with the doors. Now we go with the doors. You see the sequence over here. We have a washer, inside was sealed, then we have that with 2 screws, and we have the little wheel on the top. Okay, so this is the seal that goes first. These are the pieces that go. Notice that you have 3 holes over here in different positions. The screws are this type of screws. One goes inside the other. You use 2 flat screwdrivers to do the stuff. And also you have the wheels, and the wheel comes with a lock wash bottom and the wheel itself. So let's continue. What you're going to see is that this wheel is installed on the outside. And the outside meaning that if you notice over here it says this side and the outside, and this because the coating is on the other side of the glass. Therefore, in this case this would be the front door. So it's going to rest on the track on the outside, and the inside is going to rest on the track on the back. So that's why the wheel is going to be installed over there. These holes that you see here are for you to be able to level or plumb the door with your walls. Sometimes the walls are not completely straight, and this will help you to kind of adjust it in the way you need to. So that's pretty much it. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Later on we will work with the bar that will go on the bottom. This is the final part of the video, so thank you so much for watching. I hope you like this type of project. Remember to be safe all the time, wear some glasses, safety glasses, and that's it. So if you have any other idea about other projects that you would like to see, just let me know. Comment, like it, and share it. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.